live on YouTube. All right, live on both. Okay, so good evening. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Sunday Social. This will be a quick one. I don't have anything planned and I'm not going to give a host. And then I'll get started with um, tonight's topic, which is really just going to be question and answer because I don't have anything planned. So if anybody has any questions or anything, I won't bore you with my normal updates that I normally do at the beginning of these videos. Um, Although I do have one thing that I want to talk about from a Facebook group that I'm in, um, a topic of discussion that they were having that I wanted to see what your thoughts are on that. Any new members to the Facebook group or to day-to-day social work in general, welcome. We have a lot of people joining the group on Facebook, and I'm glad to have y'all. The style of day-to-day social work is all things social work, not anything in particular, although the primary reason I started day-to-day social work was to assist people to pass a license exam in social work on the master's and bachelor's level. I am currently under supervision for my clinical license, which is 2020. So welcome to all the new members. I know that a lot of people will end up playing this back, so I just want to say welcome. Sunday Social is just, the Sundays that I have time, I get on here and just talk about social work kind of stuff, answer questions about the exam, just talk about things in general that have come across my attention during the work week. Let's see, what can I start for the weekend? And now I'm back. I just got back and did a quick workout, hopped in the shower, and jumped on here just to make sure I, stayed consistent with doing the Sunday socials when I am at home. One thing that happened this week, and this goes in line with self-care, which is why I'm bringing this up. Shared your info with my study group. Thank you, Lori. But one thing I do want to say in the way of self-care is that this week I went to the doctor and because I found a lump in my breast. And so I had felt, and this might be too much information, but again, this is again in line with self-care and making sure that we take care of ourselves. But I did find a lump and it did concern me because it had been there for a while, but it wasn't the same on both sides. So I did go to the doctor, was able to literally pick it up and squeeze it and show it to me through my skin. So the doctor isn't concerned about it, but I'm going to have to schedule my first mammogram this week. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you frequently do self breast exams because you want to catch anything early if there's anything to be caught. So I just want to put that out there. Again, my doctor is not concerned about what was found, but we'll just have a mammogram and see what happens. So please take care of yourselves. Please don't get so busy that you neglect yourself. You always put your health first because you can't really pour into anybody else if you don't have anything to pour. So, like I said, I don't have a lot to talk about this evening. I just wanted to get on and answer any questions about the exam or about day-to-day social work or just anything in general. About what I wanted to talk about because I don't see enough people on here. I only see a couple people on each of the platforms, so we might not even be able to discuss the thread that I saw on Facebook that I wanted to talk to y'all about concerning some clinicians falling asleep during session, and I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Let's see. So again, with the new members of the group, every Friday I'm going to make a post and welcome all the new members to the group. And every Friday, the new members that are in that post will receive a $25 discount off of the pre-recorded series. Be good until Sunday at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time every weekend that I make that post on Friday. So I do want to just point out also that the daily dialogues that I posted last week, we had some pretty good participation in those, and I just thank people for participating, and I hope that more people will participate this week. So they will be posted every day, Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. And it's just stuff that I thought about, and I went ahead and made preset posts all the way through July. So it's already set. If you have any kind of topic that you want me to post about and as a daily dialogue, just send that to me on the email. But what I really wanted to discuss, and like I said, this will not be long because I don't have anything huge planned, but I'm in another group on Facebook, and it's called what is it? It's a group of clinicians who are already licensed on the clinical level, so not the exam after you get your master's degree. And I'm saying that because it's called different things in different states, but it's the advanced license that you get after your master's level license. So a lady put a post in that group, and she said that I guess she had a client who recorded her therapist falling asleep a few times, and that the client was not happy about that, of course. So there were people in the group who thought it was unacceptable. I was one of them. And then there were a lot of people in the group who felt like, kind of gave me the vibe that they didn't think that was a problem, and that they were like, oh, we're human, and you can't expect us to be robots and all this stuff. And I mean, I get that part, but at the same time, so many people on the post were like, oh, you should give the person grace, and you should be forgiven for falling asleep and that kind of thing. And nobody is perfect, but I just feel like it's unacceptable to fall asleep in session with the client, and not just in therapy, but just in general. And so I even brought up the question, like, how often do you fall asleep on your regular job? And these are people who are in private practice on their own. So I don't know if they think that gives them a little more leeway to be able to fall asleep on their patients or their clients. But there were people that were just kind of like okay with it. And then somebody asked if the client came back, and why would the client come back a second time, and that they should have a no cell phone policy so that the client can't record the therapist sleeping. And I'm like, do y'all not see the bigger picture here? Like, do you not see the bigger picture is not that the client shouldn't have a cell phone because you don't want them recording you. It's the fact that you are a professional who is licensed on an advanced level, and you're falling asleep during the session. And, I get it. I do get that we are human, and that some people, you've had a long day, you've seen a lot of people, and time has gone by, you may have eaten and all this other stuff. And I get that, you might get sleepy. So I'm not saying that it would never happen, but the fact that so many people were just okay with it, it really just boggled my mind that people were feeling like it was okay. And so, like I said, I've actually gotten sleepy before working with a client. I didn't fall asleep, but I had to get up and like get myself together. But it just bothered me that so many people were okay with it. And I just wanted to know what your thoughts were on that, because everybody is different. Some people are very professional, by the book. I'm kind of like one of those people. Some people are kind of back, and they, because of how they grew up or whatever their thoughts are on whatever, they just feel like stuff like that is okay. They should be given a pass. But I just feel like if somebody is paying you, or if their insurance is paying you, or whatever, or even if they weren't paying you, if you are providing your time, your attention, your expertise to somebody who is troubled, or who has experienced trauma, or who has, whatever has happened to them, if you have agreed to give them your time and your attention and your expertise and your knowledge, why would you be okay with falling asleep. And why would you have to have a policy for no cell phones specifically for the purpose of them not recording you while you sleep? I mean, I get it if you don't want them to have cell phones because you don't want them to be on the phone during the session or whatever, but these people were just saying, no, we need to have a no cell phone policy or have them to turn the phone off. I don't want someone recording me while I'm asleep. And they completely missed the bigger picture. And it's just like, how is this okay? And so then someone asked what the consequence would be if you were to be reported to the board for falling asleep. And I do think that some people would be graceful, especially if it only happened one time and you kind of, if something just happened in your life and you kind of explained or whatever, but I don't even feel like, I don't know, but I do think that some people would be graceful and say, I understand or whatever, but if you continually do that, I don't think that people would be okay with giving you a pass on that. I'm just sorry. I don't think that it's professional. I don't plan on falling asleep. I don't want to fall asleep. I don't want to be given a pass. I would just hope that that would never happen to me. And again, I get it. I know that we are human. We're not robots and all that kind of thing. But I would be so disappointed and upset at myself if that were to happen to me. And I'm not saying that it can't. So like I said, nobody's perfect, but I'm just not okay with it. So, and I went to supervision yesterday, and it was a group supervision, and I brought this up to the group, and everybody, they were all on the same page. Like, no, this is not acceptable. So, there are different people from different places with different backgrounds who just felt like, oh, I should get a pass and let me just make a rule that you can't have a cell phone and all this stuff. So anyway, that was just what I wanted to talk about. Let's see what is going on the Facebook page here. Okay. So any questions, comments, or what are your thoughts? And then also, like I said, with the daily dialogues, I just appreciate people participating in the daily dialogues. And again, like I said, this will not be a long live because I did not prepare anything. I just wanted to jump on and see if anybody had any questions or any comments about anything. And also just to mention to make sure you take care of your health before anything. And that just goes hand in hand too with people falling asleep in session. Like, if you are falling asleep continually, what is the source of that? Like, what is the reason that a client is able to see you on two separate occasions and you fall asleep both times? Like, I think that that's an issue. Like, are you overextending yourself? Are you trying to see too many patients in one day? Do you just normally get sleepy at a certain time? How can you rearrange your schedule so that you don't schedule people at that time? It's just like the more that I'm getting into this whole clinical thing, it's just a lot of stuff coming up. And it's a lot different from just being licensed on the master's level and just doing case management, which is what my career has been, is doing case management. So Lori Long says probably all of the above. All of the above concerning what? But yeah, so I don't know. I don't think it's acceptable at all. I had a patient who I referred to a therapist, and I don't know if y'all use Psychology Today, but I use Psychology Today when I'm looking for a therapist for patients because it's just one big resource that I think is anybody can use throughout the country. So if you hadn't heard of Psychology Today, you might want to check that out. They also have articles and stuff on there dealing with social worky kind of stuff. But I looked on Psychology Today and I found a therapist for one of my patients, and she went to the therapist and she came back and told me that her therapist was falling asleep. I thought that this was like something that never happens and that this is just like a one-time thing that just happened to happen. But apparently it happens a lot, and therapists want their clients to be okay with it. But she was not okay with it. I actually felt bad for referring her to the lady because I didn't know the lady. I just she told me what she wanted, and I put those kind of filters into the Psychology Today search, and a few people popped up, and I gave her the lady as one of them, and she went. But yeah, she said the lady was falling asleep, and she did not seem interested, and the lady was eating Cheetos and drinking soda in the session. And I'm like, come on, people. Like, really? You have to know better. I don't get it. I don't know. But I guess some people are just more laid back. But I could never see myself, for one, falling asleep, hopefully, during a session or case management or with any interaction with the client at all. And I could never see myself. I think we already know, and we should know, that sleeping is not acceptable. But I think we already know that we should not be eating. I mean, if you're drinking a drink or whatever, that's fine. I think as long as you're not just gulping it and just doing too much. But as far as eating, I don't think that we should really be eating in front of clients either. This lady, my patient who I referred to, this lady, she was not happy about the lady eating. I mean, she's snacking, and it's just like, that's why you have a break room. I don't know. I'm by the book for the most part. Like, when it comes to like professionalism and soft skills and that kind of thing, I'm just by the book. When it comes to actual therapy and finding new and innovative ways to help people, then I don't like to be by the book. I like to find creative ways to help people, realistic ways. I don't like to stick to, well, Erickson said this and Piaget said that, and you're at this stage, because people don't want to hear that. In my experience, people want to be talked to like a real person. But when it comes to like those other skills, like professionalism and not cussing at your clients or with your clients and sleeping. It's just crazy, I think, that to even have to talk about it. But so yeah, but that's all I wanted to talk about. So I know, like I said, a lot of people will probably watch this back. And so if you have any comments that you want to leave as far as your thoughts on this topic, then just let me know. So I'm going to end this here if nobody has anything to say. And I just hope that everybody has a good week this week. We are, summer has just begun. People are studying for their exams. I have people taking their exam this week. So hopefully I'll be able to report back that we had people to pass their exam this week. So what else? Summer's here. It's a new week. Make sure you participate in the daily dialogue. And I also comment back on the daily dialogues as much as I can throughout the day. So, and I always start the daily dialogue off with some kind of story about my thoughts on what the question is. So I will see y'all hopefully next Sunday. If God's willing. So I will talk to y'all later. If you have any questions or comments or anything, you can email me. I'll put the email address in the description box below. Keep in mind that you can request a free online tutoring consultation. Just go to the website, which will also be listed below. And I will see y'all later.